What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Art of Suffering podcast with Dalton Darnell. Today, we have a very special guest. And oddly enough, I do know this guy from Adam. Me and Carlos have been buddies for a very long time. I want you guys to welcome Carlos Macias to the podcast. Carlos, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You bet, buddy.
You got my last name right.
Yeah, I know. I literally have your last name wrong in my phone. I looked at that today and I was like, it's like Carlos Marcos or something. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. A lot of people don't even pronounce it right, but you got it right. So,
well, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure in my heart I'm Mexican. I'm pretty sure. You can't rope that good if you don't have a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you also work pretty hard. So
this is true. Now I'm good at sweating. I'm telling you. I asked my buddy is married to an Asian lady. Not my buddy, he's my brother-in-law. And we all have to go. My other brother-in-law is getting married August 10th outside at noon. And I asked her, I said, Tina, do Asians sweat like Irish Americans? Because this is going to be a problem for me, dude. She was like, I don't think she really knew how to answer the question. But it's going to be a problem. So, guys, just a little backstory on Carlos. He started the first ever cowboy tack website back in the day, dude. LostBuckaroo.com was the first one, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And how long have we been going now?
25 years plus.
Dang,
yeah, I started April. I called my official start April 2000. So, yeah.
That is wild. Have you ever thought about quitting?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
I feel that, dude.
That's as far as it goes. That's as far as it goes. You think about it and you're like, nope.
What else am I going to do?
Well, I mean, at this point, it's like, I can't go get a real job. I don't want to work for somebody else. That'll last about 4 hours. Then I'll get sick of that person and figure out a different way to do it better. So it's a double-edged sword. You know how it is. So you can't. Nah. Yeah, but you think about quitting all the time when you're a entrepreneur or sole proprietor, whatever you want to call it. It's like it's feast or famine, and then you got that curse where you're like, when things are good, when things are real good, you're worried about, what's coming around the corner. You're like, this is too good to be true. And then when things are slow, you're trying to hustle and get more business, and so you're never content. But that's the nature of the beast. So,
yeah, I find myself, all of my family on my mom's side, and then all of Kara's family are just 9 to 5 people. You know what I mean? They all worked their whole life, and a lot of teachers, that sort of deal, which nothing wrong with that, but they all think I'm crazy. And I'm starting to think they're right, because the stress of the whole thing, and then you add in Kara's stuff on top of that, you just have to be comfortable with a level of stress that would annihilate most people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And to be perfectly honest, it's a roller coaster for sure. I mean, this last year, it slowed down a little bit. And I would say after 25 years, I am the most content with the uncertainty as I've ever been. It's taken 25 years, but I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, you know what? There's a plan. The big guy upstairs got a plan for me. So it's in his hands, and it's going to work out. So, it gets a little bit dried up, and then next thing you know, the phone starts ringing again. So,
yeah, dude, I've been trying to, my mind keeps going back to just like stewarding what I've been given well, even though it's not necessarily what I want to do. It's just taking care of the things that are in my realm of control. That used to look like a lot of cattle, and now it looks like a rope shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I understand that. And it comes in with kids. With my daughter, she's 16 now. She just got her first job at the local pizza place. And I've, I've had to explain to her that life is about doing a whole bunch of stuff you really don't want to do and figuring out the
how's
best
she
way to
taking
go.
that?
Well, um, she's figuring it out now, but you know, it's taken quite a bit of explanation. And you know, with a girl, it's a little bit different than a boy. You know, with a boy, I think I'd just kick him in the ass and say, "Hey, get after it. You ain't got no choice. Quit your
Right.
bitching." You know, but with a girl,
Yes.
you can't really do that. So it's a lot more talking than I'm used to. That's for sure. So, but you know, just trying to explain to her, that's what life's about. Like doing a whole bunch of shit you really don't want to do, and preparing for the next thing that's coming around the corner. There's always going to be a struggle. There's always going to be a problem, and it's how you handle those problems, and then how you enjoy the time in between problems is what it's all about. So, yeah.
That's really interesting because, man, like, and we've had conversations about this over the last year or so, and really you and I've had conversations with Richard and obviously my dad and just all the people that have kind of shaped me into what I am today, is like the grind of this deal, and something that I've kind of clung to the last couple of weeks is I'm a mountain climber. Like when I see a mountain, I'm like, I'm going to get to the top of that and then I'm going to be done with it. And that's not how business works. That's not how raising youngins works. It's like the daily grind. Like there's no way to push through in one day, a month, even a year, and just be done. And I found this verse in Matthew last week, and it basically says, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it basically says, don't worry about tomorrow because today's got plenty of problems of its own, you know? And so I've kind of taken that approach. I started last Monday. I had a meeting with my manager, my shop manager here. And I just told her, I was like, okay, you're going to do the day to day and I'm going to handle the tomorrow problems. And if I get those problems fixed, then your day to day is going to be super easy. And we started last Monday and went through all last week. It's the best week I've had of work since we moved the rope shop here. Just because I was just focusing on things that would make tomorrow easy, and they actually made tomorrow kind of easy, and it's just funny to me. Like you take a 16-year-old, and I've had several 18-year-olds that have worked for me since we started, and I fired every single one of them. Because they were stealing or just sorry or whatever. But you take a 16-year-old and you try to mold that mind into what an adult actually has to think about. And it's a really hard thing to explain. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. And the only thing you can do, especially with my girl that, she's just now got out into the workforce and she's dealing with the public, and now she's having to deal with multiple personalities and different people and different people's attitudes and all this other stuff, which is great for her. I think I think everybody should, maybe not so much for a girl, but a young boy, they should all have to work in some sort of a customer service job at least once in their life. And then they should all have to get in the ring and get in a fist fight.
Yeah, right.
It's just one of those things, especially now. Somebody, for multiple reasons, but it gives you a little bit more respect for your fellow man instead of sitting behind a keyboard and running your mouth off. You can kind of feel what the repercussions are if you get in the ring. So
no, ain't no doubt.
But anyway, with her, it's been, just explaining this is how the world works. This is what you got to do. Yesterday, perfect example. I had something as simple as going to the dump in the morning. Within the first half hour of my day, I had a whole bunch of Sunday, Monday problems Trailer brakes weren't working. I couldn't get the gate. I got an automatic gate opener. Yeah, it's a first world problem, but I couldn't get the gate to open. And my air compressor on my laser machine blew up on me. So it's always something. It's every day. It's just about how you handle it, how you approach the situation, and then how you cherish the time in between when things are good. So
no doubt. Hey, Carlos, hang on a sec. What are you doing? Okay. Okay. What do you want me to do? I don't either. Okay. We'll just keep after it. Yeah. I'm sure that'll sort itself out. Drink some water. I'll drink a lot of water. Sorry. Yeah, dude. That I said this in an episode I was editing the other day, but it's basically all business is just problems and solutions. Like, and that's what I've found for myself is just how you respond to the problems. And I literally said in the episode, I was like, if you let small things spin you out, you don't need to own your own business. Like, because that's all it's going to be is just BS phone calls all day that just throw a wrench in anything that you have going on. And this is a learned skill. It's not something that you're just born with, able to deal with issues that are just, you're like, man, this is just so dumb. Why is this a thing? You know? But anyways, I just, I've learned a lot from the people that I've hired here over the last 6 months. And, there was a little naivety there. There was a little bit on my own part, and kind of adopting the Jocko phrase, extreme ownership.
Yeah.
Like me not knowing what I don't know. And you hire these guys in who got trouble or have been in trouble, and you want to help them out, and then they just screw you. And you're like, man, what was I thinking? And you're trying to do the right thing, and then you just get screwed on the deal,
Yeah.
But it's such a testament to me how important it is to father your kids in this regard, like preparing them for the world, preparing them to not be pukes, just sorry pieces of crap, I don't know, man. And what that takes, in my opinion, this is a perfect example. So my 12-year-old nephew works here. He just came in and hit me with my stomach kind of hurts. Go back to work. What are you doing? You know what I mean? And like, in order for you to understand that that's the standard, you have to get away from your mama and have somebody that doesn't really care that your tummy hurts.
Yeah.
Go back to work. We're going to be here till 5 and we're going to get after it. You know what I mean? And so my sons will experience that too. We're going to send them right off into the world and hope I did a good job. But if I didn't, I hope there's somebody like me out there that will look at him at, 12 to 15 years old and go, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You go back to work. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. And that's the other thing I told Caitlin yesterday was that, you know what? The other thing is really all you have is your word. Like if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to be there, be there. If you can't make it, you need to call and let the person know you can't make it. But really, if you look somebody in the eye and say you're going to do something, you need to do it, because that's where your value is going to be. I mean, and there's a lot of kids that don't even understand that, she's found out the hard way through flaky friends and different scenarios at school. It's teenager high school stuff, especially with girls. There's all kinds of drama, but like, treat people how you want to be treated. And, if they're not treating you correctly, then cut them out of your life, because you don't need that. There's just so much more to things going on than petty little stuff. And I told her, you're not going to understand this now, but you'll understand it later on in life. You're going to have a circle of friends that's going to be very tight. You'll be lucky in your life that you have 2 or 3 friends that you can actually count on and will be there for you. And those are the friends that you need to invest your time in. Don't worry about all the other BS right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough. I just let her get on Instagram about a month ago. And so I've been able to keep her off all that stuff for quite a while, because I just believe that stuff rots your brain, especially a young brain. So I've been trying to communicate with her and explain to her all these different little idiosyncrasies of life and things and images. And, it's a lot. You have to be involved. I mean, to give your kid a fighting chance, you definitely have to be involved, and you got to communicate on a daily basis. So,
yeah. And that phone is just it is just the devil. Like my youngins, I mean, I got a 6-year-old and he is already, Dad, when am I going to get a phone? And I'm like, when you get some keys, old son. Like, we ain't doing it. Yeah. We ain't doing it. And I don't let them get on my phone. I'm like, no. And here's the thing, man, you can keep your phone as clean as you want to keep it, but as well as I do, that shit just pops up. Like and it's like, where did that come from? You're scrolling along on Facebook. You ain't got nothing crazy on there, and there's some dude's pecker. You know what I mean? You're like, whoa, man, what is that? And so I just keep my youngins off of it, because but when you give them a car, and people will be like, well, I played sports and I had to, I'm like, dude, and they didn't even have cell phones when I played sports. Like, my mom didn't even know if we were alive. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, hang on. When this quits, I'll tell you a story on why that's, can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, listen to this. A couple months ago, I had two young guys working for me. We'll keep their names off the podcast. Both 18-year-olds, both teetotal dinks. Anyway, they said they clocked in, and our clock-in deal up into that precious song we had was you just write on a sheet of paper, okay? And they were like wanting to come in early and work extra. And hey, man, look, get after it. What's up? So, of course, they're lying. So they say they get there at 5:30 or whatever. And, of course, I come in early one day and they're not here and they're both clocked in. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I fire one of them. And the other one comes back, hat in hand. I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. Okay, great. So I put a camera up. And he did it again. So I fired him and bought a dadgum time punch clock that rings at lunch and at 5 o'clock. It does the little, hey, it's 5 o'clock sound, And like, you were talking just a minute ago about your word and all the things. Like, that's how I was raised, but as a business owner, if you're going to hire people and all the things, like, man, you got to be like as skeptical as a horse when it comes to these people, because they're just sorry, man. Yeah. Like, it's unreal. Yeah. And if you do find a good one, pay them good. That's my philosophy. Yeah. Like, I told, my shop manager is as good as gold, son. But she grew up, her mama was a dadgum crackhead. I mean, she is a freaking natural born skeptic, son. She is looking for the rat, Yeah. And when she interviews everybody now first. She interviews them, she calls them, and she'll make a Facebook post. And she'll be like, hey, we're looking for help in the rope shop. If you want more information, DM me. And if somebody comments anything about the job, she's like, I'm not interviewing them. They don't read. They're dumb. Yep. And like, I don't think that way, but she does. She's like, if you can't read a simple instructions.
Direction. Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
It's crazy to me. But I had a guy, and you tell me, this is an interesting story. So this guy on TikTok, he asked if he can call me. He's like, hey, I need some advice. And I was like, okay. And you can tell, he's never cowboyed before, but he's got the want to. And I assumed it would be something about that. You know what I mean? So he calls me up and he's like, and this is yesterday. He's like, hey man, So I got this job on this place in South Dakota, and my roommate, and he's cowboying, right? Training horses or something. And he was like, my roommate got his car stolen and totaled. He's like, I just don't know if this is a very good spot for me. And I was like, no, what do you mean his car stolen? Like, what ranch have you ever worked on where somebody comes to? Well, it's on the freaking res.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the res. And so he's like, what should I do? I was like, well, go down to Academy and buy a freaking Glock. And then if anybody steals your car, shoot them. And he was like,
great advice.
He was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, dude, South Dakota, you're good. As long as you're not in California, you might be all right. You know what I mean? Just freaking sit out there. And like every time Dad goes through Albuquerque, everybody talks about the horse thieves in Albuquerque. He sleeps with the horses with a pistol. Like, hey, man, cowboys and Indians, this is the thing, like, what the heck? And so he, you could tell my advice. He was like, I don't know about all that, So he calls me this morning. And this is kind of circling back around to what you were talking about with your daughter, about all the noise, the drama, the people that are just not doing anything with their lives and they got something to say. So he calls me this morning. He's like, should I just get in my truck and drive to Wyoming and start going to sale barns and see if I can find a job? And I was like, I probably wouldn't do that. Wyoming's pretty big, So I probably would use the internet for that. But he was like, well, I'm just so scared that when I go home, that the people who are, they're going to think I couldn't do it, or that they're going to have something to say because I quit this job at this ranch and that I wasn't good enough or whatever. And I was like, who gives a crap what people think?
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck, man? I was like, dude, nobody running their mouth like a troll is doing anything with their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And that's youth and inexperience. I mean, yeah.
Stupid.
There was something, you guys said on it. There was something you said on a podcast, how wisdom is gained. Wisdom is
the wise application of failure.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you got to fail. That's the other thing I talked to Caitlin. I mean, fail every day.
Yes.
That's part of the deal. If you're afraid to fail, you ain't living. So, yeah, that's and that failure only comes with experience, and you only gain experience through the years of doing stuff. I mean, if you never get off the couch, I guess you don't get experience, but yeah, there's a lot of noise out there, and there's 10 times as much noise as there was when I was a kid, because you can read it now. Before to see the noise or to hear the noise, you had to be on the telephone or around people. But now you can sit at your phone and there's noise all over the place. So
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, dude, is it's like, I used to get real pissed about the trolls on the internet. And now I'm just like, dude, y'all couldn't rope a bucket,
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. It's not even a blip on the radar at this point. I mean, yeah, when you're first starting out and you're passionate about it and you got something you're trying to break in and trying to prove yourself and trying to get accepted into the culture or into the fold. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, at this point, I don't know how long ago I met your dad, not in person, but on the phone. It had to have been 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
And we visited about that quite a bit because it was a Alabama. I think it was the Alabama thing, and trying to break into this culture because it can be, I don't want to say cliquey, but it can be, you have to sort of prove yourself, but not to go off on a different tangent, but yeah, it's but if you're firm in your ability and you're firm in your belief, then you don't need to worry about all the noise. Just get out there and do it. It can be, the measure of a man can be determined by his actions. So.
Well, and that's the thing, dude. Like, I've always everywhere I've worked, man, and I've worked all over the place. I'm working with great people. And that's the thing, is that the people who actually do it are not the ones freaking trolling on the internet. These people don't even watch our stuff. You know what I mean? They don't. They might. Now, there's a lot of them that listen to this podcast, but that's a little different. Like, they're not sitting at home after Dr. Neerlands all day and watching videos of Dr. Neerlands usually. So it's one of those things where there's so many phonies out there that you can kind of understand why people would be skeptical or whatever, but I just don't operate that way. I just don't. It's like these people who get on Facebook and call me a fool for calling a Honda and not a Hondo. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, who gives a shit what we call it? Like, what I'm talking about. They're like, oh, it doesn't have an engine and blah. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, come on, man. And that's the thing about it to me. And I've made videos and I put them on TikTok asking. I'm like, okay, where do you live and what do you call this thing at the end of the rope? And there's people in every state that call it a Honda, and there's people in every state that call it a Hondo. And the percentage of those people who can actually use the tool is like this much. They don't even, like, dude, come on, man,
Those people that comment are mentally ill.
Oh, come on.
They're yeah.
It's Unless a joke, man.
Yeah,
so dumb.
Yeah, it is.
But with all that being said, that's the thing. It's just like the problems in business or life or whatever. It's how you respond to it. And back in the day, I would respond pretty harshly. And there was a time where fighting the keyboard warrior was part of my life. And now I'm just like, dude. I might comment something like, I'm patiently waiting for your roping video. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I could hardly imagine you ever being on the fight, especially when you're younger. I'm sure you were always calm, cool, and even keel the whole time.
Oh my gosh, dude. I get it very honest. I assure you. It's just funny to me now. I'm just like, man, whatever, dude. And I'll be the first one to give credit where credit's due. If a guy can rope, I love it. Because half the time he's using my rope when he's doing it. And I'm like, hey, man, great job. And teaching people is part of what we do. But just negative people, what's wrong with you? Like, get a job. What are you doing? You're not busy enough if you got time to be a dink on the internet. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it was the other conversation I had with Caitlin yesterday. She says whenever she comes home, she's only been there 2 days at the pizza place, but she comes home with the stories and she goes, well, I got yelled at on the phone today. The first day it was yelled at in person. Yesterday it was yelled at on the phone. And I said, you know what? There are people that are just generally unhappy.
Yeah.
And there are also people that just in general treat wait staff or customer service people like shit.
Yeah.
They are on a mission to treat wait staff or customer service people like shit. And in the food service industry, I think that is just completely stupid because they're handling your food. Why would you treat people? Why would you be rude to the person that's handling your food?
Have you ever seen the movie Waiting?
No.
With Ryan Reynolds? Oh my gosh, dude. Go watch it tonight.
Okay.
Tonight, dude, and show it to Caitlin. It's rated R for sure, but she will have a whole nother of why you don't. There's a scene in that movie which you know this. I don't know if everybody else knows this, but I worked in the food industry for the last 12 years. Like, I bartended for the last 4 years so my wife could stay home. But I've managed restaurants and I've served. I've done all of it. I've washed dishes. And dude, there is a scene in that movie where this lady's being a straight Karen and they will go to jacking with her food, man. And it is hysterical. Oh, and if you think it doesn't happen,
oh man,
you're wrong, boys.
I know for a fact. Yeah. My mom and stepdad owned a couple of restaurants and I know.
Little bit of garlic salt, baby. Yeah. Let's go. That's a thing, man. Y'all chill. Y'all better chill. Not tipping's one thing, but being a total freaking dink, Oh my Lord Jesus. Which the older I got, the less it bothered me. Like I was like, well, you win some, you lose some. Some people are just freaking jerks. And I used to get like about halfway through my career doing that, I'd get real lippy with people. Like I just wouldn't take it anymore. So one thing that people will do when you're waiting tables is we call it running you to death. They just run the piss out of you. Like every time you go to the table, they ask for something else.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, man, collect your thoughts and give it to me all at once, you know? And so if I caught a whiff of somebody running the piss out of me, I would just simply say to him, I'd say, hey, I got about 20 more steps for this table and I'm saving 10 of them for the check. So you better figure out what you need from that kitchen because I ain't coming back. And they'd laugh like I was kidding. And I'm not coming back because somebody that's running the piss out of you ain't going to tip no ways. And if you think your server doesn't know that, the only ones who don't know that are the ones who have not been doing it very long. So I was just real upfront with people, you know, or I'd say like you get a big party and there's systems to these things so you can keep it all together. You're talking about serving 15 people at once. Like we got to know where everything's at. And so I would say to him, I'd give my spiel, hey guys, my name's Dalton. I'm going to be taking care of you tonight. There's a bunch of you, so we're going to keep it all organized. I'm going to start with this guy over here. We're going to go around the table and I'm going to end with you. And then as soon as I get done with my spiel, some dink right in the middle will be like, I want a Sprite, And then I would say, you don't follow instructions very well. We're not starting with you. We're starting with you. And they would all laugh like I was kidding. I wasn't kidding. We're going to start right here and we're going to go around. But they would think it's funny because that dude just made a total buffoon of himself. And yeah, dude, waiting tables, everybody should have to do that, period. Yep. It's good for you. Like dealing with difficult people for short periods of time, it really changes you. It changes the way you can talk to people. And like, it's like when people call a rope problems. When we get off the phone, they don't have a problem anymore. There's no problem. We're going to fix the problem. We don't have to be an a-hole about it. And typically the way you respond to somebody that's being that way, they immediately change. They're like, oh, this guy's going to take care of me. We're okay. But that's good for her. That's freaking hilarious. Both of my youngins will wait tables. I promise you that. Because it is some of the best like temper control training that you can find. Gosh, because people just as a whole just suck. They just they suck, dude. Oh my goodness. Freaking waiting tables. That's good stuff.
Yep.
Me and my wife did it together. Good times.
Have you guys kept a tally on how many ropes you sold?
Oh, overall?
Yeah.
Like in the last 8 years?
Yeah.
No. I have no idea. I can look it up though. Hang on.
I'll be curious to know.
I don't oh man, I gotta log in. Hang on. I don't know. It won't be I can tell you the number of orders.
Oh.
John Darnell, log out. Hang on.
You've got a log on where you've shipped them all over the world, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's lots of different places on that deal. That's it's really crazy, dude. Like on 5, you would never think that many people would order ropes, but they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The trouble we've been running into is we kind of re-geared all of our stuff for working cowhands, and then people who aren't working cowhands or beginners or whatever, you really got to educate and teach people how to, break them in and use them and get them right. Because if you put some body in a poly, man, they get kinky. And most people are cool with it. But, if you're going to ranch horse shows and all you're doing, man, we started in 2017. No, we didn't. I thought it would stop. Well, I wonder if there's all time. No, we can just do. But if you're going to a ranch horse show and you're just going to breakaway rope or whatever, like there's some specific things you need to look for in a rope because some of these just need heavy use to do right.
Yeah.
Like the cottons. Like that's not the rope for you if you're not going to be. Like I tell guys who buy 3/8, I'm like, rope a bull, like day one. Okay, so total, that's sessions. We have had, where's orders at? Fulfilled orders, 52,970 orders fulfilled. So that's not ropes. That's just orders. We have had 974,000 people come to our website.
Wow.
That's crazy. 52,000 orders. I didn't think it was going to be that much. I really didn't. But that's a lot. That's crazy. Yeah. And to think this all started because, I mean, just a Facebook post.
Yeah.
Just a Facebook post.
It's funny too, because there's such a variety of ropes available now. When I first started selling gear, the only two ropes were nylons and polys. Mm-hmm. And, it was a gold poly. Every once in a while you get a white poly. Mm-hmm. And then they all had lead in them. After a while, it was before you could get them without the lead in them, but and then I went to selling like a 4-strand poly, but that was the only thing that was available, just straight nylons, and you could get nylons in like triple soft, extra soft, double extra soft lay, but that was it. And the polys were all imported, so they're all sized metrically, but that's the only thing that was available back then. So
we're going to try to bring back the no lead poly. We got some samples coming. There's a bunch of guys that have been asking for that. And so we're going to try it, see how tough they are to break in and all the things. But it's crazy, man. Like I've been kind of flirting with the idea to try to get into manufacturing my own polys at some point. Just to kind of alleviate the having to import them with all the tariffs and stuff. But we kind of got to figure out what we got going on here with that first. But it would be pretty cool to be the only people in America manufacturing those things.
You know why they put lead in them?
No, why? Oh, because they're fishing rope, so they sink?
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what I was told.
Yeah. Me too.
Like that.
Makes sense. They make a good rope. I mean, you kind of got to get used to them, but I don't know, man. That's what I prefer. Like every rope has its pros and its cons, and the polys definitely have their cons, being limp and all the things, but man, I'm just not trading body for weight. Like I just deeply prefer having weight in my rope.
Yeah.
I did a video. I looked up the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest rope and shot ever thrown. It doesn't exist. So I pretty much have the record now. But I took 100-foot tape and measured off. And I caught from 50 foot, like legit. That is a freaking bomb. Like if you think you've ever thrown a 50-foot shot, measure it. Because dadgummit, dude, it took every ounce of muscle I got in my shoulder. But I'm right in the middle of editing the video. It's pretty funny. I missed it, I think 8 or 9 times before I actually caught it. But I was freaking like crow hopping and throwing that thing. I really thought I was going to get 80 foot. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, what an idiot. Like when I put the tape out, I was like, ooh, no, this is not going to work. But that's a lot of rope, dude.
Yep.
It's a lot of rope.
Yeah, well, you gotta do it from horseback now.
Yes. That might be impossible from 50 feet for a white dude. I'm not going to say there isn't a Charo out there that can sling it 80 foot, but dadgummit, dude.
It's been a while since I've seen him rope, but Dave Weaver, he always threw the biggest loops of anybody I ever saw. And, he could send that thing. But I don't know if he was using a riata or, a synthetic rope or not. But that guy's shoulder must be just
bulletproof.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like watching him rope. He's pretty big on the momentum of the deal. I threw a hula hand. So I put a lot of coils with it and threw it like a ball, Yeah. But his deal, and I'm telling you, dude, like a 30-footer, reasonable. Like I threw a 12-footer and then I threw a 30-footer and I caught both first shot. But once I got out in that 50, 60-foot range, dude, it's a freaking bomb. That is a long way to throw a rope. Because I thought for sure, but if you think about a 60-foot rope, you're throwing, if you throw 30 foot of it and you got a 15-foot loop, you leave yourself about 5-10 foot to dally with. Like, that's all you got, and I cut a 120-footer to do it. And halfway through it, I couldn't even hold the damn thing. It was so heavy. It's like 7-8 pounds you're holding in your other hand, it was just too much. But anyway, I said in the video, anybody that throws one further than 50 foot on a tape, okay, you got to tape it off. I'll send you a free rope.
There you go.
Because I'm telling you right now, son, hats off to anybody who throws one that far, because it is a dadgum bomb. But anyway, so kind of back to raising youngins. Do you have any advice, just overall general, like, this is what you need to do when you enter in? Because everybody tells me, I'm like, man, I'm having a hard time. I got a 2 and a 6-year-old, or where they're like, wait till the teenage years. But from what I know about your daughter, you got a pretty good kid on your hands. So give me some advice on how to not have just a barn full of dinks by the time we get to 14. You know what I mean?
Well, I think one of the most important things is a foundation of structure. Like, you got to have structure. You got to have a routine. You got to have structure. You got to have discipline. Those kids need to know what to expect on a daily basis. And you've got to be consistent with that. And like I said earlier, with your word, if you say you're going to do something, then do it. If you're going to, if you give a kid ultimatum, don't do this or I'm going to do that, don't do this, you're going to get that. You got to follow through. And it's got to be consistent. Like, if you're getting up on a daily basis at 6 o'clock, do that every day. If the kid's got to go for a bath at 7, do that every day. Like, there's exceptions, you might have the weekend or whatever, and you guys might be messing around watching a movie or whatever, but you've got to be consistent with that kid so that they understand what to expect from you and they know what they're expected of, and the discipline, stuff simple as turn the light off when you're done in your bedroom, don't just stick your dirty dish in the sink, stick it in the dishwasher. If you walk by the water for the dog and the water's out, fill it up. Don't tell me about the problem, fix the problem. Just stuff like that. It's just, you got to have that structure, you got to have that discipline, and it starts as early as, when they're little. It's eating at the same time every day, or getting up at the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every day. I mean, if you don't have that, then you got a bunch of feral animals running around.
Facts. Facts. Oh man, that's fantastic.
I mean, and that's just the start of it. And then it gets even more in depth with, all kinds of different communication styles and consequences and, just, yeah.
That's it's funny how discipline just ties into basically every aspect of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're undisciplined, it's just not good. Like you just have to be. Coming from a guy who has been undisciplined quite a bit in my life, I always find myself at the end of that rope like, man, just do the job, do better, you know? And it's the things that you don't want to do that are the problem. The things you want to do, it's easy to be disciplined at, but the rest of it is the stuff that actually matters, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the stuff that you don't want to do, the stuff that sucks, you know, just like getting up and working out every day. I don't want to do it, but I do it. You got to do it. You know, and then the discipline goes with everything. It goes with dogs, goes with horses. I mean, if you're leading your horse across the pen, you're not going to have that horse right up in your back pocket. You want that horse back 10 feet, because if it gets scared, it's going to run you over. You know, it's the same. And you keep it the same way every time. Like, no, don't creep up on me. Get back. Dogs the same way. I mean, get out of the pen. Don't go in the pen. And, you know, don't let them sneak in there, because then next thing you know, you're training them to disrespect you. So it goes with everything.
Yeah, that's always been my, you know, people will ask all the time about Dad and his horses, and that's the biggest difference between him and most people that I've found, is that he is wildly self-disciplined when it comes to a lot of things. Like, the dude is just good at doing things he does not want to do. And even when, like, I don't care, like for me, I wouldn't care. He cares, like, all the time. And that's why his horses don't test him, because they know he knows. And it changes everything. It changes everything about, I mean, it's no different than me learning to rope. Like, the standard was don't miss, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to fail, but like, don't be okay with it. You know, being mad about missing is important. And so he instilled that in me when we worked together at Parkman, because it was important. It was very important to him. And so while missing was tolerated, it was never like, it's okay. None of that. Missing is not okay. You're going to miss, but it's not okay. And we're not going to be okay with missing. We're going to fix it. And so that, luckily, I was just naturally good at it. So I kind of came along quicker than most people. But anybody out there who knows Dad or has worked with Dad understands that his expectation of himself is so much higher than it is for you. It's like, when that dude gets mad about missing, it's serious. It's a thing.
I got to experience that firsthand at the the first Pro-Am roping I saw you guys at, but then at that Buckaroo Traditions gathering too. I mean, he was just beside himself. But
I was too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That sucked. That was like,
I saw that. I said, well, this is a different kind of animal. So
I'm telling you, dude, I rode out of that pen with the intention to never saddle a horse again. I was like, I'm done. I can quit. I can just die now and never do this again. Which since I have, but I was very angry coming out of there. When you're roping and you can hear a pin drop in the place, where almost everybody who's ever done it is like, God, I am glad I'm not out there, you know? And unfortunately, I was the guy with the calf necked, which is not a fun thing. It's not fun to have a calf necked for 7.5 minutes. That's not a good deal. I watched that run, dude, like hundreds of times, trying to figure out what we did wrong. We didn't do anything wrong. We just missed.
Well, no, it's just, and that's the thing. I mean, if it was easy, everybody'd be out there doing it, you know, and it just goes to show you that you're human, just like everybody else. You can have even Michael Jordan had an off day, you know. It's just it's just the way it goes, and
Yeah.
that's part of the deal. So you have your
Getting
days
good
when,
at losing is important.
well, you have your days when everything falls into place, and you have your days where everything's fighting you. So,
Oh, it was fighting me that day, buddy. Woo! mentally, I was in a bad place coming out of there.
yeah,
But it is what it is. I went back to the Pro-Am the next year and roped really, really good. That kind of fits. Well, we had never seen that before, what those guys do, and it is different. It is very different comparatively. And so I do believe I would probably do better if we went back, just because kind of what to do. But the
yeah,
Pro-Am is probably the funnest roping of the year for me, because it's just exactly what I teach, what I do, what I think is fun. Um, and I'm just good at that stuff. Like
yeah,
those ram and jam deals, I am not. That ain't me. I don't even want to do it.
yeah,
Like the calf branding at the Pro-Am, I could never do that again and be fine. I just don't like it. I don't like my horse feeling crazy. I don't like the calf feeling crazy. I like it under control and slow. And I'm just not a adrenaline seeker anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, you guys are way ahead of me in that game. I don't even like being out there in front of people, so that's why I don't do it.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm going to throw up pretty much the whole day, but it's kind of the nature of the beast. It's kind of what we do. And, I think being authentic and getting out there in front of people is important. Like if you just
Yeah,
stay behind the camera and never get out in front of anybody and rope, and that'll hurt you. You don't want to be a fence sitter if you're going to be
no,
teaching and doing all the things.
yeah,
And the further along I get in it, like now, I don't rope at all now very much, and I'll go teach a clinic, and I'll tell people like I haven't saddled a horse in 6 months, and then you got there and miss, and you're just like, yeah, it's been 6 months, like sorry,
yeah,
watch how fast I can rebuild, and then that's the game, like I don't know what to tell folks. So somebody's got to ship these ropes. That's kind of part of
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's part of the deal. I mean, it's a sacrifice you make. You have the business, you got to do everything else. It'd be a lot easier if you just sat in the rope shop and tied ropes all day.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Teaching clinics ain't for the faint of heart neither. None of it is. All of it's hard.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
the
but
whole point of the podcast.
yeah, yeah. I was listening to a couple of different episodes on the way home from Nevada last weekend, and yeah, the art of suffering. I mean, they're suffering and everything. So, and you step into it on a daily basis and mostly by choice, not because you have to, but that's just the way it is. You got to do it. So,
True. That is true. Well, Carlos, tell everybody where they can find you, man, and what you offer them, as far as like what you do every day.
well, what I do on a daily basis, for the most part, is build custom shaps and chinks and armitas. That's been my mainstay for a number of years now. I have a full cowboy gear website, buckaroogear.com, and you mentioned lostbuckaroo.com. That's the original business name. Instagram at Buckaroo Gear, TikTok at Buckaroo Gear, I think Facebook at Buckaroo Gear or Lost Buckaroo. But that's what I do. I've been building shaps and chinks now for 23 years. And that's what I do on a daily basis. I mean, I've shipped shaps all over the world, and I mean, if you need anything custom built for leggings, I'm your guy. I also do spur straps and martingales, and we sell a rope here and there, but not so much anymore. And slobber straps and all kinds of other little stuff. But for the most part, it's been shaps and chinks for a long time now. And when we first started the business out, I was buying and reselling a lot of stuff, and then I kind of figured out that being able to sell stuff that I actually made, the profit margin was quite a bit higher. So kind of shifted into that, and been doing the custom shaps and chinks now for quite a while. And then I also teach too. I do some teaching. We have some video series on the 310 EDU, and then I've come out with a couple other different programs on the Teachable site, which is I think it's Leather School. Gosh, I don't even know it, but you can find it on the Buckaroo Gear website. And we have I do an in-person class too. If a person wants to come to the shop here and learn how to build chaps, I can do that too. So just kind of moving on to the second chapter of this whole deal, where I think teaching is, and we've talked about this quite a bit, but teaching makes you a better craftsperson or a better maker. I mean, you teaching roping makes you a better roper. So
Facts.
teaching for me, teaching chaps makes me a better chap maker. So, yeah. So if anybody needs to get a hold of me, you can find me at all those different places. You can always call and text me. The phone number is published on the website as well. So I don't mind talking on the phone. Some people don't like talking on the phone, but I'll sure answer the phone. So
perfect, man. Well, Carlos, thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it, guys. If you're hunting a set of leggings, he makes some dang good ones. And if you're just not going to find a higher quality individual in this world. So very forward thinking, very much so wise as far as business and as far as all this stuff goes, just totally immersed in what we do. Carlos has been a friend for a long time, and I sure appreciate it. And he is definitely one of the people that I call when I'm having trouble with my business. And so he's a great friend to have. Guys, as always, if you need me, reach out at dalton@310edu.com. That's my email address. My phone number's on there as well. Please reach out, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, Carlos.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Dalton.
You bet, man.